Well, hey gang, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian, in case you forgot. It has been, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, almost a month since I've been out here doing this camping thing. I got lots of excuses. Kids started school, PTA meetings. It's been 120,000 degrees outside, didn't feel like getting out here. But the main culprit that kept me from getting out here is that truck you see behind me. It has been out of commission for 3 weeks. I was waiting on a $21 some type of valve. I'm not exactly sure what, but it corresponds to the AC compressor. So my AC went out in this brand new truck. And of course the valve that I needed was on back order. And I couldn't drive the truck around in 105 degree heat. It was just miserable. So the truck's literally been sitting, waiting on a back ordered $21 valve. I picked it up last night and here we are. So it was supposed to be a pretty decent day. It's crazy windy outside. We've got some pretty nasty looking clouds coming in. So we might get some rain this evening, but I'm out here all by myself pretty much. There's nobody behind me. I got the lake, as you can see right there, and we have a brand new setup to test tonight. This is gonna be an absolute shakedown trip. I don't think a lot of the stuff that I have is gonna actually work, so I'm just gonna figure out what I need to change, what I need to fix. But as you can see, hopefully, I got myself a new tent, and I kind of been hinting at that the last couple of videos, that Naturehike tent, it was a good tent, it is a good tent. I just honestly didn't like the latches. I didn't like having to have a key to secure the tent down when I closed it. You know, what happens if I lose the key? I literally can't drive down the highway because it risks flying up on me. So I didn't like the latches on it. And since I do this, I used to do this so often, that side opening tent is great. It actually is a little bit bigger than this tent, but it requires more work. My tent before that Naturehike tent was just a typical clamshell tent, which is what this is, but this has a little trick up its sleeve that I'm gonna show you folks. I will tell you, I'm gonna have to do something about these crossbars. These are the Yakima heavy duty, the heaviest duty crossbars that they make. And I can tell you, going down the highway, it's not as sturdy as I want it to be. I could see it kind of bumping. So I've got to come up with another solution. There's all kinds of racks if you don't want to run a tonneau cover. But I love having a tonneau cover, so my options are kind of limited. So I'm gonna hit Google tomorrow morning when I get home to figure out what I can do, because I just don't like how kind of bouncy it was. My other tent, you couldn't see it moving. This one weighs a little bit more. This one's about 200 pounds. That Naturehike one is about 145. So that weight makes a huge difference. But this tent, guys, is really kind of cool. This is from, I got it from Hima, and I can't remember the exact model name of it. But I was really wanting to go back to the clamshell. Just you unlatch it and you push it up and you are basically set up. But this one has a little trick up its sleeve that I'll show you up here in the front. So this is gonna be the first night obviously out with this tent. It's been sitting in my garage for over 4 weeks. And one of you subscribers, one of the people that watch these crazy videos, actually bought my Naturehike tent last weekend. He came from Houston. I showed him the tent. He's actually putting that Naturehike on top of, he has an F250 with a camper shell. He's putting that Naturehike on top of the camper shell. So that tent is gonna be way up there. That is gonna be a pretty sweet view once you get up that high. So that Naturehike's going on another Super Duty. So I'm not gonna mention names, but thanks for coming to buy the tent. It sure did help out with that. So hope you enjoy it. But guys, I'm gonna get you set up on a tripod, quit talking, and we're gonna kind of go through this evening to figure out what's gonna work, what doesn't work. I got quite a few new things to kind of tinker with and to show you folks tonight. See if it works with this new setup. I'm gonna have to figure out a lot of this stuff before my big trip to the Ozarks here in about a month and a half. October the 11th, I believe. Don't quote me. But kind of want to get all this stuff buttoned down before that big trip out to Arkansas. So gang, let's get this thing set up and I'll kind of walk you through this new tent of mine. So the first thing we got to do on this tent is come up to the front, which is a little bit different because there's 2 latches up front, which might be kind of weird for these clamshell tents, but we're going to undo the one up there and the one back here. And then again, no keys, nothing crazy to get into this tent. Just pop those, pop those. Get my glasses before they fall off. Pull this thing down. There she goes. All right, so let me show you what those two latches up front. It is getting windy and we got some dark clouds coming in. So hopefully we'll get this thing set up. But the front of this tent now, it actually comes up. It's not hinged down here at the bottom, if you guys can make that out. So it actually gives you about another foot worth of either headroom or leg room, however you want to lay in the tent. But you got this little X brace right here that lifts up the entire top part of the tent. That's kind of why I went with this model. Something really new. I haven't seen anything like this before, and one of the things I didn't like about my original clamshell tent is that it comes down to such a big point here in the front, you do lose a lot of space. This really opens up the interior with this coming up like that. So overall, let me get my tripod out of the way. Just a pretty sweet little tent. Now I gotta do, definitely gotta do the rain fly because I think we're gonna get some rain here pretty quick. So I'm gonna get this done and then I'll take you inside the tent. Kind of show you what that's all about. Then we got to get the AC set up. And I brought an awning. I got a new awning. I don't know, it might be too windy to try it out, so we'll see. This is definitely going to be a test of the wind rating on this thing. But of course I got my little shoe bags. I'm probably not going to use these tonight, but it does come with some really nice shoe bags actually, nicer than what I've ever had. Really thick clips. Drains at the bottom, but the overall material of this is actually really heavy. It's not that really thin, flimsy nylon that I've had on all my other tents. But hopefully I can find all of my poles. Here we go. So something kind of not a big deal, but I like that these are black instead of that brass color. I know it really doesn't matter, but I just think they look a little nicer. These are going to go in here, here. Oh. And let's hope the wind doesn't rip this thing apart. There we go. That is, I mean, that's basically set up for the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and do the two sides, but that's basically it. A lot less work to do on these. I got to climb back up here. That's set up in real time. Much less time it takes to do this. And I got to figure out what to do with that strap, but that is set up. Again, that's kind of why I wanted to go back to this style. I still like the side opening tents. They are a little bit bigger than these, but this is just so much easier. And that didn't even take 3 minutes in real time to get this thing set up and ready to go. Better look at the awning. So it does kind of cover the front and both sides just a hair. You've got two huge windows on the side. And I didn't even mention it. This little bracket right here going up, it's a really low profile luggage bar, crossbars. I might end up taking those off though, just to reduce some of the weight. But I thought it looked kind of cool with the little mountain cutouts, but I'm probably not going to use them. But I do like how low profile those things are on that. You can get a better look. So, all right, well, let me get a battery bank because this thing does have a light inside. And we'll go inside and get my air mattress blown up and get this little party started. All right, so if you're wondering about what size, how big this is inside. This is essentially a full-size mattress, and it fits corner to corner, side to side. Really no room to spare. I bought this from Amazon. It is awesome. It's got a built-in pump. It's about 3 inches thick. It's kind of hard to tell here, but it's a really thick, comfortable mattress. I do like my Lost Horizon mattress. However, it is about 2 inches too wide. It's a little bit bigger than this mattress. So this mattress fits absolutely perfect in this tent. But let me get in here and open up some of these windows. Massive windows. That's one side. You can just kind of tuck them down in here. All right, let's get the shoes off. Let's get the bug screen down. So the other really cool thing about this tent that's going to come in really handy for me is, since this back end or front end, however you want to call it, kind of comes up, it's got a little window here too. Right there. This is going to be, I'm going to actually build a form that's going to go on the inside, and I've got some 4-inch adapters that I'm actually going to use with my AC unit. It's not ready yet, obviously, but this is a perfect area to run my ducting into the tent for my AC unit. I'm not going to be able to do that tonight because I don't have all the stuff that I need yet, but I like having that area up there. And you can see here, right now I've got the pillow section for my head to go back there, but it just provides a lot more room with that X thing coming up. We got one light up here on the side. It's adjustable. You got this above you. Put some goodies up there. Nice, whatever you call it, material up here. I don't know, but it's just it just feels really nice and airy, obviously, up here right now. So I'm really pretty happy with this. It's so much easier to set up. The downside to this tent is that it weighs a lot more. It is a little bit lower profile, so I could see out of the back of my truck bed window a lot better going down the highway, which is how I saw it bouncing going down the highway also. But I can still see cars behind me. My other tent, had that little dome on it. I couldn't see anything out the back. So yeah, I like change. And again, these tents they're very easy to sell. So it's fairly easy to kind of mix your tent up, because they sell pretty quickly. And I hope the guy that bought my tent likes it. But I'm pretty happy with this one. And just for in case anyone's wondering, I'm 6'1"ish. I'm gonna put my head all the way back here on the pillow side. So yeah, I've still got, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches behind me, and I got plenty of room feet wise, not touching the end. So I don't know how comfortable this would be with 2 people. I mean, you could do it. I wouldn't want to. But for me, 1 person, 1 night, 2 nights, easy. It's gonna be perfect for the Ozark trip. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm digging it. I like it. So I do have the ladder that goes, of course, on either side or out the back. I haven't put that up yet because honestly, I sometimes find that it's easier to get into this tent standing on my tailgate. So I don't even know if I'm going to put the ladder out, but I do have that awning. I got a Moonshade. I don't know if I'm going to put it out tonight because it is so windy. It's getting windy right now, and last thing I want to do is have that thing fly out into the lake. But anyway, gang, this is going to be the setup, at least from here on out, for a little while. I'm not going to say forever because you guys know that I like this change up tents, but this one I do like. So let's see where we go from here. So here's the ladder that I honestly don't think I'm going to use. I'm just going to stick it down here and hope I don't forget it when I leave. But the last trip that I took, I think about 4 weeks ago, I almost ran out of water, and it was pretty scary because it was hot. So I learned my lesson, and there was a lot of comments about, you know, bring a water jug. And I've bought a few different water jugs. I've never bought a Scepter. because honestly I didn't like the price, but I can tell you I went and bought one. I bought the small one, and there is no comparison between this water bottle or water jug and the one, the cheaper one that I bought that we've been using. This thing, you probably couldn't crush it if you ran over it. It is so heavy duty. So naturally, what did I do? I couldn't just use a standard Scepter can, so I bought a little pump off of Amazon. I think this was like 10 bucks, maybe if that. Just a little USB powered pump. And I went to Etsy and ordered this 3D printed little adapter that you can screw on to the front of these Scepters. Now this adapter works on the 5-gallon and the 10-gallon Scepter cans, and you just screw it on. And there's probably easier ways to do this, but this works. And with this little adapter, it now lets you push on this pump and it stays put. So, push that on there just like that, and now you hit the top, and it's kind of like a little faucet. So, I brought some ice. We're gonna have some nice, fresh, ice cold water. That is perfect. That's pretty cool. Not running out of water today. We actually have a cold front. It's like 98 degrees today, so it's not as unbearable as it was last week. So, let me get this put up. We'll walk down to the lake down here. See what that's all about. And we'll get dinner started. Got some swimmers down there. This portion of this lake I'm at, though, got hit really, really hard with some tornadoes a few months ago, and it's been closed. They've been driving in here. There was a bunch of fallen trees and whatnot, so they just opened up this loop a couple of days ago, and this is one of my most favorite little loops around my area that I like to go to. So I'm glad to see that it's finally open again. But I don't know, I think that tent looks pretty good on that truck. I like that new setup. So I guess I'm going to brave it. I guess I'm going to put out my new awning. I'll definitely have to probably stake down the guy lines because it's pretty windy. So let's get that going. I'll show you how I'm going to temporarily attach the awning to this, because again, that's a work in progress, because I realized there's some things that are kind of in the way for what I need to actually make it happen. But I think what I have here tonight, I think we're going to be okay to get it set up just temporarily. All right, so this is the Moonshade. I've been kind of talking about this for quite a few months now. Finally got it. Don't know if today's going to be the best day in the world to test it out, but these things are they're pretty nice, and they weigh next to nothing. And actually comes with quite a few different mounting options. Comes with some suction cup thingies. I'm not going to use it for my setup, but you got all your poles and your actual shade itself. So I've never tried to set this up. So again, today's probably not going to be the best day, but we're going to give it a go. Now, to get this thing set up, I got some M8 bolts with some 3/4 inch eye bolts just on the end. And my problem is, let me turn you around. I'm going to use this T-track right here, but I got to clear, and I just realized we'll have to figure out this. I don't know if this is going to work yet. Told you guys, this is a shakedown trip. But I'm going to put this bolt in right here, hoping, I don't know how that's going to work. But my main concern was to clear this strut right here, which sticks out a little bit. So I'm going to take the pole, hopefully. It comes with the awning, which is this one. I gotta figure this out here real quick. We can slide this down to the end. So I got that pole mounted going through these bolts. Right now it's just having to go over this thing. I gotta come up with something for this. So then it's just going down through an eye bolt here. Then I'll have to attach the shade to these two ends. Not too bad. You should slide in, and this Moonshade, everything about it's just so well built. Like these little pockets that this rod goes in, super heavy duty. Don't think you have to worry about, you know, it ripping or tearing through. Woo! I don't know about this, guys. I don't know. It is awfully windy. All right, so I think that's the hard part. Now I got to get the legs ready to go, but I don't have guy lines ready to go. That could be the problem. All right, guys, well, it is not pretty, but this thing is so low. Like I couldn't use a regular awning because my head would hit right here. But with the Moonshade, to get out here, how it kind of has goes up in the middle, I actually have room to stand up. I couldn't do this with my regular awning, so that's why I went with the Moonshade, and I've got like little hooks to hang lights, and hopefully it stays up. But it has these little clips here on the pole, and these clips on the shade that actually attach, you know, keep the shade and the guide pole connected as one. That over here on this side too. And if you wanted to, I guess you could somehow find a way to clip that in. But I just like how it actually goes up in the middle. Now you're gonna laugh at my tie downs. Working with what I have, I don't like these. I'm gonna get some. This came with the Moonshade, but I guess the tornado moved this curb over here, and I can't get a stake in this ground. So I'm just using what we have. There's that side, and then over here, of course, coming down to the picnic table. But it is windy outside, and it's holding up pretty well. Not too bad. Fingers crossed that stays put. I am really surprised how well this awning is holding up in this wind. It's amazing what a little shade will do. I miss having an awning. I love my other one, but I love how light this is. All right, let's chill out for a little bit, and then I brought some goodies for the Starlink so I can watch a movie tonight. But this isn't half bad. Of course, the sun's at a weird angle, so I'm not directly under the canopy, but it's still providing some pretty good shade. If I wasn't in such fear of a thunderstorm, I would put my party lights up, get some good ambiance going, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to tear this down pretty quick if that happens. last piece of this little trial and error puzzle, besides getting that giant wasp out of my face. Where'd he go? I dare you. Anyway, I don't know if you guys watched my couple of videos ago. I built this Pelican case for my Starlink Mini. So we're gonna try a couple of different mounts that I showed in that video, mainly being this long arm and one of the T-track little balls. So due north is that way. You got to face the Starlink to the north. So I'm going to see if I can get this thing hooked up directly to my tent using this little guy right here. And you know, guys, when the Starlink Mini first came out, there was really no aftermarket parts for it yet, and you had to use the Starlink 50-foot cable if you truly wanted the best connection. Well, now that this has been out for a while, some third parties are starting to actually build stuff. So these cables are from Stargear, and they are, I got a couple of different ones to test out, but the one I'm really interested in is this one right here. This is the 5521 to USB-C, Type-C. This is a 6-foot cable, but these have the waterproof gasket just like the Starlink cables do, unlike the ones that I was using in the past couple of videos that didn't have this. So this is going to help protect this port inside since it's got that little ribbing. Now this is, again, a USB Type-C. So I'm going to hook this up to my BLUETTI and see if we can get this Starlink powered. But as natural, I went ahead and bought a couple of other different cables. This is a 16-foot cable, and again, this is just 5521 to 5521, but it's got these rubber gaskets that help seal the Starlink. This is just a little bit shorter cable than that 50-foot huge long one that comes with the actual Starlink. And I got another longer one. These come in several different sizes just in case I have to put this thing out further away. But this is the same thing. It's a 5521 to 5521. I believe this is like 30 feet. Don't quote me. There's all different kinds of sizes. So they're just a little bit easier to maintain than the giant Starlink 50-foot cable. But anyway, let's go see if I can get this ball mount and this arm to mount to the Starlink. And we're going to point it north, and hopefully we'll be able to watch a movie tonight. So in theory, I can take this T-bolt, the strap, slide it right here, turn it to tighten it. That's pretty difficult. All right, now I've got the Starlink, stay there, with the RAM mount. Just like I showed you folks how I built this, you have to drill a hole in this kickstand, but now I got the ball mount on that. So now we just need to attach this arm and this Starlink somehow with only 2 hands. Okay, now I really have no idea if that's the right orientation. Get this new cable plugged in right there. Get this ran through. There we go. Now I'm going to get my power station to make sure that we can get this thing lined up and that this USB-C cable will actually work to run it. All right, so I got cable here, and a lot of videos that I've seen, you know, and I've tested this out at home and it's worked for about 30 minutes, and that's as long as I've tested it for. But these USB-C cables are kind of finicky. Now this AC70 does have a true 100 watt output, so we're going to plug it in there and make sure that this thing will power that continuously. Now I'm going to have to tweak that angle. But I want to see, okay, so 36 watts right now. I know you guys can't see that, but we're actually powering the Starlink right now. I'm going to pull up the app here and get this thing aligned, and then I'll come back and give you guys an update on how it's working. Well, we got the Starlink all oriented. If you can make that out on my phone, it's so bright out here. So we are good there. So far, this USB-C cable is working. 17, 16 watts. This will bump up anyway. It's really, these Starlinks really fluctuate. They'll go from 50 watts to 20 watts. I've seen it get up as high as almost 80 watts. So it's kind of hard to judge exactly how much power this thing uses. But right now, we're aligned. I'm sure I've got to do some kind of update. Yep, it's downloading a software update right now. Just kind of plan on that every time you turn these Starlinks on. It's always doing updates, but I really want to make sure that thing can run it, because it's just a little bit easier using the USB-C than it is using a standalone 12-volt battery like I've been using, or the AC adapter. This uses a lot less power than running that Starlink AC adapter and having to turn on the inverter on this. It just won't drain the battery as fast. So that's going to cook. That's going to work well. So I'm going to let this thing sit and work, hopefully, download its updates, and then we just got a really simple dinner for tonight, guys. This was just an impromptu little trip. I haven't done this in 3 or 4 weeks. Needed to test all this stuff out. So, easy dinner tonight. Starlink's doing great. It's dinner time. Got some yellow squash, got some beef sausage, just simple stuff. We had it at the house, so it's gonna be good tonight. Now I did find this Hawaiian Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce is great, but we've never tried the Hawaiian barbecue sauce, so hopefully it's pretty good. We'll give it a shot tonight. Barbecue sauce is smelling absolutely fantastic. Never tried it, but I think it's going to be a winner if I can get that over there. Yep, that smells good. I'm going to call it done here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that smells so good. Little extra Hawaiian barbecue sauce. Something to grow on. It's easy, but this smells pretty darn good, folks. See if I can get a glimpse of that. All right, let's go find some shade. All right. The only problem is with this canopy is that the sun's so far down, it's casting a shadow, not obviously under the canopy, but it's still shade. So the yellow squash, just a little bit of salt, a lot of pepper, and a lot of cayenne. A lot of cayenne, but that is super good. Oh, dab it in that Hawaiian barbecue sauce. That's so good. All right, sausage time. They're hot. I gotta tell you, basically anything from Sweet Baby Ray's is good. I think this Hawaiian flavor might be my most favorite from them. It's kind of tangy. Tiny little bit of pineapple, of course. But really, really good. I left my table at home. Not on purpose. That's some good sausage. Well, dinner is put away. I'm going to test out that Starlink. It's still going strong, but I'm going to get out my my iPad and watch a movie here. Kind of while we wait for that sun to go down, but one of my buddies, when we went to Waco, the RV park, had one of these things. They're called chili pads. Holy cow. I wet it, stuck it in my cooler. Man, it is cold. It works so much better, I think, than those mission towels. It stayed cold for a good 15-20 minutes so far. And it feels good. And they're not expensive at all. I got these on Amazon, of course. Let's see, settings, Wi-Fi, we're connected to Starlink. Let's see what the old Netflix has to offer us this fine evening. Oh, my water is too far away. Prison Break. I don't know if you guys have watched Prison Break. My wife and I binge watched that years ago. That is such a good series. What do we want to watch? Let's go with World War Z. Sure. It doesn't feel bad in the shade. That's why I'm not so concerned about getting my AC put out tonight. Here in the shade, it feels fine. But we'll see how that goes tonight. Well, folks, I watched probably half of World War Z. That movie is bonkers. The sun's about to set behind me down below the lake. It's around 8:10, 8:15, which in normal people's terms, that's not late. But for me, it's getting close to my bedtime. I'm full. Sausage dinner was absolutely fantastic. So after dinner, though, I did kind of do some cleanup. Since I'm not watching World War Z anymore, Went ahead and took the Starlink down. I did take the awning down just because I didn't know how long it was going to take me to actually disassemble it in the morning. I didn't want to be out here all morning trying to do that in the dark. So I went ahead and took it down, and honestly, it was easier taking down than putting up. Folds up well. The bag that it comes in is big enough that you don't have to squish it in there. Everything just worked really well. And looking, I forgot to get this post. So I'll have to get this off. And then I think I'm going to actually get some 4-inch M8 bolts to push these eyelets out a little bit further, maybe past this support rod for the rainfly. That'll get this rod out of the way and kind of work a little bit better, I think. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing next trip. But I'm going to get the rest of this stuff tidied up. I don't think I'm going to put the AC unit up tonight, gang. I'm not even sweating right now. It's maybe 88, 89 degrees. So it's warm, but there's a really good breeze going. So I just don't really feel like messing with putting the AC up, to be honest, because this is going to be so breezy. I don't think I'm going to need it. So anyway, we'll see you up in the tent. Don't you guys get jealous, but my wife made us, I just stole a piece, some cream cheese stuffed banana bread. That's going to be the dessert tonight for up in the tent. That's probably why I'm going to bed so early, is because I just want to eat this. Yeah, guys, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that I'm not as hot as I probably should be. But got my pillow, and I can't decide which way I'm going to put my head. If I'm going to try it down here. I kind of like it this way because I like to be able to see the lake, which is, this view is amazing. Look at this. That's not going to be terrible to wake up to. Kind of pumped, but show you guys this cream cheese stuffed. I don't want to spill it. Yeah, it's good. Very good. Thanks, honey. Well, did my battery die? Probably. There we go. We got lights. So yeah, this is, I don't know why I kind of miss this style tent. It's just easier. And with this air mattress, it's not, I will say this air mattress is not quite as comfortable as the Lost Horizon. And I can probably try to squeeze that Lost Horizon mattress in here. It's just going to kind of bulge out on the sides. But I might end up, this again, just shakedown trip. And thanks so much for following along if you made it this far, because this trip, I had no idea how it was going to go. I do have quite a few things I need to tinker with and fix when I get home, but I just needed to bring this stuff out here this week, see how it was going to work. So we did it, and I guess that's about it, gang. I will say, I don't know if you saw my community post, I have a brand new rooftop tent that was delivered to me a couple weeks ago that I'm going to be giving away absolutely free. If you want to come pick it up, I'm not shipping it. It's like $500-600 to ship it. So I'm going to be making a video. It's just to thank you guys for, I'm getting really close to 50,000 subs. And I don't ever ask for subs. I think that's cheesy to do that, and I don't think it works. So just as a thank you for hitting that subscribe button, once I get to 50,000, which shouldn't take too long, I'm just going to give that tent away. And I'm going to, on video, show you the app that I use and pull the name live on video, so there's no questions about it. So I'll be excited to finally give that thing away. But keep a lookout for that video. Hopefully I'll be posting that within the next week or so. And yeah, with that, I'm going to grab my iPad and watch some downloaded movies since I put my Starlink up. And probably just hang out and chill and look at this sunset. Look at this. It's getting even better. It never comes through as pretty as it does look in person. But anyway, gang, I'm gonna enjoy my cream-filled banana nut bread, get a movie going, and we'll see you in the morning. Kind of forgot how to do this thing. Seems like I haven't done it in a year, so who knows, but yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.